Hi, welcome back to Enchanted Baking and Gardening, and today we're going to be doing some fresh bagels, and they are the perfect bagel, and you won't want to go to the grocery store or to that bagel shop and buy them anymore because these are to die for and super easy. So for this recipe, all you need is bread flour, some yeast, a little bit of honey, and some salt. Oh yes, and you do need some aqua for this recipe too. So do additions to this bagel. You can make them into cinnamon raisin, you can do herb, you can do an Asiago cheese bagel, which are delicious, where you would just add some cubes of Asiago cheese and then on top some shredded Asiago cheese. Lots of different things, but we're just going to do a plain old white bagel, and I think you're going to enjoy them, so you gotta try this recipe. Now for mixing in your bread machine, we're going to add 2 1/4 cup of nice warm water, around 95 to 100 degrees. We're going to add our salt, and this is 2 3/4 teaspoons of salt. We're going to add our bread flour, which is going to give a more of a chew to our bagels because there's more gluten in here, and we are going to add 6 3/4 cups into our bread machine. 1 teaspoon of yeast right on top of that flour. And I forgot to put the honey in with the liquids, but it's all going to mix in. And 1 nice tablespoon of honey. Close your machine up, and you're going to do it on your bread dough mode for mixing. So just find your dough button and let your machine do the work for you. Now your bread machine is going to do its first rise in the bread machine. So just let it do its thing, and when it's done, it's done. Now, if you're doing it by hand or in the mixer, put it into an oiled bowl, and you want it to rise for at least 1.5 to 2 hours so it's nicely domed in your bowl, and that will develop flavors also. And then we are going to form our bagels and get them ready to go in some boiling water, and then we'll bake them. All right, so our bagel dough has risen and it has doubled in size, and it's been about 1.5 hours for me. And you want to get yourself a rolling mat and flour it lightly, and we're going to deflate the dough a bit. Just deflate it a little bit. And we're going to divide this into 12 equal portions. And you can weigh them out. Just want to pat it out into a circle, pinch it in the middle, and then you want to cup it and roll it in your hand. So it forms a tight little ball. Get a little flour on your hand. You want to put a hole in the center. Flour on the hands, and just swirl it, swirl it, swirl it. You want about 1 3/4 to 2 inch hole in the middle. place them on a sheet pan, which you want to sprinkle with some cornmeal. You can use cornmeal or you can use a semolina flour. This is going to prevent the bagel from sticking. So it'll pop right off the parchment when we go to boil them. And place your bagel on. And now you want to get an egg wash if you want a shiny bagel, or if you're going to put any toppings on so it has something to stick to. So do like a 1 egg to 1 tablespoon of water. Okay, so our water is ready, so we're going to gently release our bagel off the pan, trying not to misform it, and plop it in. And you're going to boil them 1 minute per side. I like to do like 3 bagels at a time. Don't rush a good thing. Now we're gonna flip our bagel. You can use a slotted spoon or what have you hanging around. Give it a flip. And set the timer for another 1 minute. And be sure to put your pretty side up on the sheet pan. And repeat the process with the remaining bagels. (475 degrees) for 20 to 25 minutes until they're golden. All right, this is the last of our bagels coming out of the oven. They look so delicious. This one here bubbling is Swiss cheese and Gruyere on it. Delicious. So our bagels came out absolutely delicious. And now, I'm not done yet. We are going to make a veggie cream cheese. So I'm just gonna do like a half a recipe, and we get a fly in here. That's all right. We're all organic here, right? So let's get our cream cheese done. You can use the herbs you want or have on hand, your favorite. I'm gonna use some scallions here, and you just wanna chop them up kind of small. I'm gonna do a 4-ounce block of cream cheese. You don't have to really measure too much for this recipe. It's to the taste. So chop up some green scallions or chives, whatever you have on hand. Just a rough little chop so you don't get giant big green pieces in there. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of fresh dill I got going outside right now. Make use of your fresh herbs. If you got some herbs going, use them, explore with them. Let's throw some dill in there. I got about a tablespoon of fresh dill. You can use dried. Dried's always more potent, so use a little bit less. So if you're doing a half a block of cream cheese, maybe only a half a teaspoon of the dried dill. Like I said, do it to your taste. I'm going to do some parsley. Chop some of that up. And then we're going to grate a little bit of carrot to throw in there. Just snap the end off of one of the carrots for this. And you can do bigger grates or little grates. I'm just going to use my little micro planer and do some little fine pieces of carrot in there. If you have red pepper, that would be great in it. Okay, and I crushed one garlic clove, and you're gonna need a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and if you have sun-dried tomato, you can put some of that in there. I don't have any, so I'm gonna use some ground sun-dried tomatoes. I'm just gonna use like a quarter teaspoon. A quarter teaspoon of pepper. And a half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. And we're gonna throw in our garlic, our parsley, dill, and grated carrot, and we're gonna give that a mix. And then let it sit in the refrigerator for a couple hours, and all the flavors will meld into the cream cheese. But this would look really pretty with a little bit of red bell pepper minced into it. Don't have any. And give a nice little crunch. You can put what you want in here. And store it right in a little container. And if you want it a little bit creamier, go ahead and add about a tablespoon of heavy cream to this. Okay, we're gonna pop this in the fridge. So let's slice into this bagel. I'm gonna slice into the Swiss cheese and Gruyere topped bagel. And we'll see what the texture looks like on the inside. Really nice. These are the perfect bagel, and they taste even better if you form them, put them in the fridge overnight, at least 12 to 16 hours, and the dough will taste even better. It'll develop better flavors, but they're good just as is.